Alright, it's been nothing but cold and raining for a while, and I'm fixing to make us a nice breakfast. This is one of my favorite things to eat is these sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast burritos with these homemade potato wedges. I'll tell you what, this is one of my favorite meals. Alright, so I've got everything diced up in a bowl. These dogs are ready to get theirs. That's what they're getting. Got that with some hot sauce and ketchup. Boom. Alright, had breakfast. It's time to get out here and get working. Recently we had a nasty storm come through, and I'll tell you what, man, it had me praying up. These trees were whipping all over the place. This one we're walking up on now happens to be a dead tree, and I've been putting off taking it down. It's a pretty big one, and man, there was branches flying off of this thing, and I kind of just picked them up and set them off to the side here, and there's a lot of stuff that was up that way too. So this needs to get cleaned up, and I'm planning on taking that tree down. So got the tractor and the track loader out here. These guys haven't got ran in a while, and this is another dead tree, pretty tall pine. And I'll tell you what, man, when I seen the top come out of that thing, I was like, man, it's time to hunker down, because this is quite a piece of wood here. You know, I don't know, that's probably about 30 foot long, and it's dry, and all them little branches coming off are like spears. Driveway's all getting washed out. I haven't been out here running this loader since, I guess it was November 20th. And I started doing some work that I shouldn't have done because the rain and the cold was coming. And, well, the driveway kind of got away from me because of that. Once it gets muddy and nasty out here, there's not much you can do. So I'm just doing a little walk around on the old loader. I did run this recently. I had to work on the drainage ditch on the driveway a little bit. We ended up getting a ton of rain. There was flood warnings, and we'll get into that in the next video, because even though I dug it out, we ended up having a washout onto the driveway. Just doing a little checkout. We got coolant, a little peek under the hood, make sure everything's okay. You know what I mean? It just takes a minute to check stuff out. I need to get a new dipstick for this thing, but I did check the oil level, and that's all right. And I at one point put a new set of glow plugs in here. When it's cold, it don't like to start without them, so we'll give it a shot here and see if she fires up. Oh, you know we got fuel. She's huffing. She's puffing. Think she's going to need a little more heat. We don't want to hit her down with that diesel crack. Got good working glow plugs. We don't need to hit it with that. Alright, here we go. There she goes. I love this little machine. Alright, Ho Chi Lin, my Chinese tractor, is all warmed up, and we got to run back through this road I made in the woods to get to where I left my bar oil back there. So we got to run back there and get that bar oil, because the saw's not full, and I want to top her off before we get started. So this thing, knock on wood, is, you know, treated me pretty decent. I got this thing real cheap. She's got some leaks and some quirks, but you know, it gets the job done. And you can see we got a good little washout going down here on the driveway. Like I said, I should have left this alone. I pushed it just a little too far. You know, once you get towards the end of November, you may as well just hang it up, because anything you start doing in regards to dirt work is just going to be more trouble than it's worth. You don't get too many nice days to where the ground's not either wet or frozen. It's going to be one or the other during the winter. It's just, it is what it is. You got to just find something else to do. Looking over at old puppy dog's grave there, I miss that girl. She was the coolest dog ever. Talked about that in another video, and there's a lot of content on my channel with her. She's the tan dog. I mean, she had some serious personality. But anyhow, we're running back this road. This was a big project that I was working on last summer. You can see we got a lot of trees down, a lot of stuff folded over, and I'll have to just come back here a little later on and get some of that stuff cleaned up. It's not a super high priority. I'm more worried about stuff up top right now where we were at earlier. So we got a good sized tree down over here across the road, and I figured, what the heck, we got 4-wheel drive. Let's see if we can get over this bad boy. So she wasn't real happy there. It was kind of hopping. I don't know if you can see in the video, but we're off camera pretty good. So I figured, you know what, I don't feel like wrenching today. I'm just going to try and back up off of this thing and get her back up on some flat ground, and we'll just walk the rest of the way. I'd rather walk than be wrenching instead of doing the work I planned on doing. That's the one drawback about this tractor, is trying to find parts. I don't feel like spending all day online trying to find parts for a darn Chinese tractor. Now, I did a little video series on this road. If you haven't seen any of that before, you get to see some of portion of this road. Where I got the oil at, I don't know, it's probably just a little, maybe it's like 3/5 of the way back. It goes back a good bit further, but it's man, it's really neat because I've got 45 acres back here, and I've been here, I guess, 3 years now, maybe a little more, and having all this property back here and not being able to see it or get back here was kind of a bummer. And last summer I've got this road roughed in. It's not a finished product, but it gets you where you're trying to go. It was nice to take the dogs back here and walk this road and see what you can see out here. There's a lot of wildlife, good views. But now that it seems the weather's starting to turn around, I'd like to get back out here and start doing a little more work on it. This is a big old ravine here, and it's just all full of fill. May not be the classiest way to do it, but you know what? I'm trying to get across the big gorge here, and I got a lot of debris, so I'm just going to keep piling it in there, and as it settles, I'll put more in, and it is what it is. It's not a 10-dot road. Oh, bar oil's where I left it. That's nice. We know we don't got any trespassers that need it more than I do. Heading on back to the tractor. I'll tell you what, I never get tired of these views, though. It sure is pretty. Almost bit the dust there. I guess that's what you get for being out here in the woods in your mossy oak Crocs, and they're only in 2-wheel drive. I should have known better. I should have locked them in. Old Reba, so I feel bad if I don't acknowledge her when I go by. I put her on this road because it was one of her favorite places to be, is going for walks back here through these woods. Got a big old silty mess here to clean up. The good news is I just got to kind of scrape the surface because I mean, being out on a hill like this, it's mostly rock, so just gotta kind of scrape that top surface off, and you can see where the top came out of that tree, man. That was something else. The old MS-291, man. I ran that thing over with a loader before. I did a video on that, one of my favorite saws. So here we go. Up and on the old track loader. I've been super excited about getting back on this thing. It has been a while, and I really do enjoy running this thing. She is a late 80s Komatsu D57 S1. It's a 34,000 pound track loader. Really strong machine, and I really wish I had the 4-in-1 bucket, the clamshell bucket, whatever you'd like to call it, but you know, it does not have that. And I'll tell you what, this thing has actually kind of got me in trouble up here, just because if I was originally planning on getting a Bobcat, and if I would have got a Bobcat, I wouldn't have got so far out in the weeds with doing excavation and land clearing, because I mean, this thing, it just gets down. I don't like to take it too much faster than this. I'm in need of some lower rollers. If anybody out there wants to sponsor me with some lower rollers and hardware, boy, you would make my day. But yeah, I like to take it slow and easy on this thing, because if you've ever knocked tracks off a machine like this and you're out here by yourself like me, it is not fun putting it back together. So kind of take it easy, and slow and steady wins the race. Alright, I'm going to put you guys on time lapse. I'm just up here trying to skim all this silt off the driveway. I've got it dug down to where it's pretty close to, I'm not going to call it bedrock, but it is pretty solid rock underneath all that. So I'm just going to clean this up and take that dirt and kind of dump it in the spot where I need a little bit down here on the road. And away we go. Enjoy. Alright, now I'm just following up with the land plane on the old tractor. I'm actually pretty good at grading with this track loader, because you got to figure it out. Now I'm not going to show too much of the land plane on the tractor, just because it's kind of redundant, and I don't have a drone. apologize for running the chainsaw if I'm like one of these Harley guys. Sometimes you got to rev it a couple extra times just to make sure it's still on. So anyhow, this black dog you see here, that's the new dog. She showed up at 10 o'clock at night on Black Friday. This was the first time that she was ever around the saw run, and I was kind of curious to how she was going to act. This dog showed up real cold and hungry, and she loves my cooking. And I know a lot of sarcastic dog people say dogs will pretty much eat anything. Yeah, sure, whatever. But she's always wanting to be around me, and that's kind of sweet. But she is a scrappy, dirty dog. She's always hunting in the woods and all kinds of stuff. She's interesting. One real nice thing about a track loader, man, you're just picking all this stuff up, throw it in that bucket, and we've got to still clean up that pine tree, but you could just, if you got somewhere to dump the stuff, you just go and dump it. Having a machine is all the difference. Like before I had a machine, I would have been loading all this up on the utility trailer and then pulling that somewhere and then unloading it by hand. It's like doing half the work, if you know what I'm saying. You just throw it in the bucket and then just dump it and then you're done. So I really appreciate and enjoy this thing. So if you're hearing all that ruckus, I've got a neighbor off to the side here. I got 51 acres, and I border them on 3 sides. They've got 1.9 acres. I don't know who's got it worse, because I'm always running equipment in the saws, and they've got a little zoo down there, a bunch of dogs and pigs and chickens and all kinds of stuff. When Puppy Dog was alive, she used to always run away and go over there and try and check out all the animals and stuff, and they'd call me up and tell me to come get her, and they were nice about it. So I guess we just kind of tolerate each other. Once I get that road done, I plan on building back in the woods, so it's a little quieter back there. You know, they're nice enough people. It's just a little weird having somebody kind of right smack in the middle of your land, you know. So, like I said, I bordered them on 3 sides and the 4 sides of the road. So I tried to buy them out before, but they weren't interested in selling. They've been there for a long time. So it is what it is. It's a big old limby mess here, a whole bunch to clean up. The nice thing is, because it's a dead pine and all dried out, you're not getting covered in sap, which is never fun. going to interrupt this super exciting stick cleanup with a little commercial. Over 80% of the people that are watching are not subscribed. If you would like to see maybe this with multiple camera angles, maybe a drone, just hit the subscribe button. Once I get this channel monetized, I would really like to be able to invest in the channel, get some great camera setups and, some, better editing capabilities and whatnot. And, if I could make a living out of this or make this channel my primary focus, it would be great. And all I really need you to do is hit the old subscribe button for free, or, maybe like or comment on a video. If you want to see something that you're not seeing, let me know. Or if you'd like to give me a little tip or whatever. I'm not a professional. I'm just kind of doing the best I can do. Give me some feedback there. But I'd really like to make something out of this channel. And if you could help me out by hitting the subscribe button, that'd be amazing. All right, you can see you got things cleaned up with the lamb plane a little bit there. Got the most of those sticks up. And look at that, this is like a 2.5 yard bucket, and that thing is just heaped up full of sticks and logs. And I'm gonna hop in this bad boy and go down the road to one of the spots that I'm just kind of dumping this stuff at. Before I was chipping everything, and that's nice, but it's time consuming and expensive to either rent a machine or buy a machine. Then I was burning stuff, and you know what, it's just more worry and headache than it's worth. So now I just decided I'm going to just start burying everything in an area that I don't plan on building any structures. Just use it as, I guess, fill material, just because it just seems like the best thing to do. All right, we got it kind of on time lapse because this thing is not a Corvette, and we're running on back here to dump this load. And like I said, I need some help.